Hello, this is Mr. Walton, and I'm going to do a recap and go over the tools I did last class because the video did not have any audio. So this is just an introduction to Photoshop and some tools and some terminology for you to get to know. If you open up Photoshop on your computer, you can have the PS icon. You can open it directly from there. This screen will pop up. And when it pops up, go ahead and hit New File. And when you do that, you'll see a screen will come up that looks like this. Let's start something new. And something to remember and always look at. Check over here and make sure that this is in inches. It will default to pixels, but you want to go to inches so that you can have your dimensions in inches rather than pixels. And we'll talk about a pixel here in a moment. Right now I have it set at 10 inches by 10 inches high, 10 inches wide, 10 inches high, and I have the resolution at 300 pixels per inch. Okay, and we'll talk more about that. But that's what, resolution you can set it at, and we'll change that periodically depending on what we're working on. But I will come back to resolution and pixels momentarily. I'm gonna go ahead and hit create. And when I do, there are a couple things I want to point out. When it opens up, automatically what I would do is go up to Window, go to Workspace, and make sure that photography is checked, because that will have your layers palette over here for you to look at. And then also go ahead and make sure that that rulers are checked. Now, when you do that, it's going to have your rulers up here and down here so that you can get an idea for measurements and things like that. You may need to double click the ruler like so and bring up the preferences and change it from pixels to inches. Okay, and you can leave type at point right now and then click OK, and that will change everything over for you. Now, one of the things that we want to look at doing as we're working here, we have a lot of different things that we can look at. We just have a lot of things to look at, and I have my toolbar here. And if you ever don't see your toolbar, go down to Window and make sure the toolbar is checked there, and that will make sure you have your toolbar there. You may see your toolbar like this, which is okay. You can change it by clicking this button and having your toolbar arranged like this. It's up to you, and then you can also move it around. You can snap it, to the side if you want. But for what I'm showing you today, I just want to bring it out here because of certain examples. The cool thing with your toolbar, if there is a triangle, like you see a little triangle here, if I click and hold, that means there are other tools underneath that toolbar. So I just want to make you aware of that. Now, within Photoshop, it has gotten really smart, and they've done a really good job, so that if I hover over a particular tool, what it will do is it will tell you what that tool is and what it does, and even it will tell you what it does, and you can watch a quick video on how it's used, etc. Like this is the brush tool, so it's built in to help you out with with learning the different tools, and actually shows you how to use it as well. So you can always use that if you're unsure of something or you want to try something new during playground time or free time. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is point out this is your layers palette. Okay, I want this to be aware and watch what goes on throughout the course of this demonstration with it. I'm going to come up to where my brush is, and this is where I can set the size of the brush. I've got it right now. I'm at 193 pixels. I'm just going to take it down to about 73. And for this first example, I'm going to leave the hardness at 100%. Now, when I do that, and I just clicked off there, I'm just going to draw a line across. Oops, sorry, I got to switch into my brush tool. I was not in there, so that apologies there. I'm just going to draw a straight line across, and then I'm going to come back up to my brush tool and change the hardness down to 0%, so you can see the dramatic differences. And then I'm going to do another line across, and I'm going to zoom in. Now, to zoom in, you can either do Control+ to zoom in, Control- to zoom out. I like to use a mouse and the keyboard because it's more efficient. I'm holding down the Alt button and using the roller wheel, and I'm zooming in. Now, here's the difference between the hardness. This was 100%. It's a nice, crisp, straight line, really defined edge. 0%, you can see it bleeds out. And so that is the difference between the hardness levels when it comes to using brush size and things like that. So I want to point that out. I'm going to zoom back out, and I'm going to actually hold down the control button and use the roller wheel, and that helps it move side to side. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to go to create new layer, and I'm going to click that. The new layer is called layer 1. It's above the background layer. For this example, I'm going to change the color of this to, let's just go to black. We got our teal and black for Glen Allen High School, and then I'm going to click OK. For this, I'm going to take my brush size up to about 88. Hardness, I'm going to go back to 100. I can hit escape, and it gets rid of that, and then back to my workspace. For this, I'm going to just go here and do a lot of different lines. Now, notice when I did this, layer 1 is on top of the background. So layer 1 is coloring, the black is on top of the teal. Okay, I'm going to come in and show you a new way that you can create a layer if you want. Try and show you multiple different ways to accomplish things. And I'm going to go into layer here, layer 2. Okay, and with this, I'm going to change the color to pink and click OK. For this one, I'm just going to go here, here, and here. Now notice again, layer 2 is above layer 1, so everything is above, the pink is above the black and the teal. Layer 1 is still in the middle, so you see that is in the middle. If like the black is going over top of the teal but under the pink or the magenta. I can take and move my layers if I need to, and this means I'm working in layer 2. This would mean I'm working in layer 1. But I'm going to click layer 2, and I want to show you something. I can take, actually, let me do one more layer above layer 2 so that you can see the dramatic difference here. And I will do, let's do this kind of green here. And for this one, we'll go the opposite way. So I took layer 3, and look at the way the colors move, especially like right in this area, as I'm taking and clicking and dragging layer 3 underneath different layers, and look how it changes the order. Okay, I wanted you to be aware of how the order of the layers affect what you see. Now with this, I want you to take a look at a couple things. I'm going to go up to Window, and I'm going to come down to History. This is my history, all the moves that I've done, and I can click back through and do something, see where I screwed up on something. But let's say I do something here at this point. Anything that I do from this point on, if I were to go and draw a circle here, which I will, look at what happens to these two parts here, especially like the new layer. So I'm going to click and draw a circle, and then look what happens. Boom. It was erased and gone, and it just put this one on. So if you do something like that with your history, just be aware of what goes on. You can do Control Z, and it'll step back through all of your layers, and you can even see this. And then you can go Shift Control Z, Shift Control Z, and it will actually go this direction. So little shortcut keys are pretty important. Now the last thing I'm going to show you, and I'm going to go open up a picture. Let's just take a picture of when I was out in Long Beach in 2012 for a conference. Actually, that's a grainy picture. Gosh, I showed you a really terrible one. Let's open up a little bit nicer picture than that. This is, of course, in Long Beach, California. But I'm going to zoom in, and I want to show you an example. Control or Alt, and then use the roller wheel, and I'm going to scroll all the way into this trash can. And you see where these boxes are? Those are called pixels. Those are the pixels. It is a picture element. It is a single element within the picture. And we talked about resolution. the more pixels you have per inch, that means it's a more high detailed and quality image. So that's something I wanted to show you with pixels and resolution. You want to have, for a high quality image, you want to have more pixels per inch, higher resolution. The document that we created here, the resolution was 300 pixels per inch. And then in here, this one, we you know, it's probably well more than 300 pixels per inch. But I just wanted to show you what that is. And we'll talk more about pixels later on. But this was a quick and dirty introduction to Photoshop, talking about brushes, layers, talking about, you know, deleting things, zooming in, what a pixel is, and resolution, how to set up your page, and just a recap of basics of Photoshop. I hope you had a wonderful time listening, and don't hesitate to ask questions anytime. Take care and have a great day.